No, we'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
Happy holidays, fellas. We are back and we're going to talk about some football, the gift that keeps on giving in the holiday season. Welcome, Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. As always, we are platooned. We are gathered here with my NFC North bros, my guys, the only fans of the Vikings and Lions that I can tolerate.
Only
Dave.
I didn't like that. I didn't like the only fans.
Dave. Well, I can tolerate a lot of only fans, but from these teams, I can only tolerate you guys because I love you guys. Dave, executive producer and man of everything as it relates to the Minnesota Vikings. How you feel?
Hey, I'm feeling great. It's Christmas Eve for those that are watching live, and those that watch late. We still welcome you if you needed a little escape from the family drama or whatever you're having. Welcome to the show. We want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from the Purple and Vikings First and Skull, along with everybody here to you all.
B. Foster checking in, one half of the dynamic duo from Detroit. All things Detroit, not just the Lions.
Detroit.
Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, number one team in the NFC, in the Central Division and the Eastern Conference, Detroit Pistons. What's happening, my boy?
I'm good, man. It's a balmy 38 in Detroit, so won't have any snow for Christmas. It's not looking like, and I'm all done with my shopping. Just got to wrap a couple of gifts, so I'm all right.
Snow on Christmas is overrated. That might be a hot take, but I'm gonna say it's overrated. Give me one snow for the season just to get it out the way, preferably early in winter, and get all the snow. Miss me with all of it. Get it out of my life. I don't want any snow. I don't want any sub-zero temps. Let's just make winter as palatable for me as possible. And as a while we're in the Christmas and holiday discussion part of our show, I got another hot take for you. Home Alone 1, superior movie of all the Home Alone movies. Home Alone 2, not as good. Home Alone 2 was just a vehicle to sell the Talk Boy.
Hey, we with you on that. You might get some pushback somewhere else, but we with you.
Most people prefer number 2 because it's set in New York and it's got a star-studded cast, if you want to call them that. But Home Alone 1, superior movie.
No, 1 was the best.
I agree. See, I like how we're all in symbiotic.
Is the sequel ever better? Like, come on.
Well, some sequels are better. Some sequels, but it's you're rare, right, Dave? It's rare. Godfather 2, shout out. What was the name of the second Rambo? I like that. Terminator 2, better than Terminator 1.
Mm-hmm.
Based in Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh,
another thing in winter. No. Did you say RoboCop 2?
Yes, he said RoboCop.
No, I said RoboCop was based in Detroit.
It was. But you don't claim it as a Detroit movie.
Yeah, we do. Beverly Hills Cop, we do too.
Okay, all right. I don't know. Sometimes some of these things I've thrown out to you, Foster, over the years that you like. It's not really Detroit.
It really tests me because I wasn't around for these things.
Okay,
or I was just a little jit at the time.
I feel you. Another thing from the winter that I can go my rest of my life without. It's losses to the Packers. I feel like we all agree with that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm liking this new era I'm living in my life where I don't have to deal with losses to the Packers, as you all saw on this past Saturday.
Yes, we did.
The Bears did their thing. The Packers thought they was gonna have a sweep the division, as just coming off the last year where they was winless in the division. They thought they was gonna sweep through the division. I got y'all back. Dave, Foster, they had fist and feet for y'all. We got that for y'all. Don't worry about it. We got the
division completely yet. We still have to play next week.
Ooh, and they will lose that game too, and we will get to that
I
in a
hope so.
second. So a quick recap of possibly the biggest moment, the biggest regular season moment in Bears fans' life this past Saturday when the Bears beat those Packers and started off a fantastic weekend for the home team. After that win, the Bears got a little bit of help from this sorry Foster, from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and was able to clinch a playoff berth first time since 2020.
Once a decade, we give it to you once a decade.
Yeah, well, make a Super Bowl once a decade. We'll take that right now. The Bears are not on a once a decade type of schedule. Well, we got to get that one first to switch some things around after the disastrous era that we had following Lovie Smith and
Matt Eberflus.
Them guys. Talking to a lot of Bears fans, my co-hosts especially, it does feel like Saturday was the pinnacle of our fanhood. If you were born after 2006, Saturday was your zenith. You don't have any idea what it was like living in an era in which the Bears owned the Packers for a stretch of years. None. If you were born after the 70s or born after 85, like I said, after 2006, this right now is a feeling that you have no idea of. This is new territory. This is basically exploring Antarctica for the first time for a lot of Bears fans. Caleb Williams did his best clip farming or farming after the game winning pass. Might have he's going week after week after week having the best pass of his career. We thought it was that pass to DJ the week prior to the Cleveland Browns, but then he had to walk off the Packers. And there's nothing better than beating the Packers. There's nothing better, and there's nothing better than breaking their hearts at the buzzer too. So we've talked ad nauseum about it. But I want to check the temperature on you guys. Like, how were you all feeling watching that game?
I pump it into my veins. I love anytime the Packers lose and lose that way. First, it was they can't tie us, and then you guys march down the field, and sure enough, you score, bring it into one touchdown. Then you got to declare the onside kick. Hey, it's just an onside kick. We got this, right? Boink. Nope. Chicago recovers. God, that was so funny. And then the drive, you tied it up, go into overtime. God, it was sweet. And then you held them, and then you came back down, and that, I got to admit, that last throw was a thing of beauty.
I was dangerously at the point of a cardiac arrest, Dave. when that pass was when I seen the ref walk into the field of vision with his hands up like this, signaling touchdown good. I was this close to passing out. My voice is just now starting.
Chicago fans did.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them was there bare chested out in Soldier Field, where it was, I think by that time of night it was probably at about 14 degrees. They were probably loss of breath as well, probably very short of oxygen. Also,
they're wondering where the paddles are. This is the year that the stadium needs to do the shock paddles for heart attacks.
Well, you know what? That's where all the power went, because the Packers were complaining that the heaters wasn't working on their sideline. And you know what?
Oh yeah,
shit happens sometimes.
Foster, how was violin right there?
Were you watching the game, Foster?
I was, and it was bittersweet to say the very least. I mean, I'm not gonna act like I was out there going all in for the Bears, but I'm impressed. I am a believer. I think that the Lions still have a good chance of knocking you guys off at the very end of the season, and hopefully it means something. But hey, the Bears, I'm impressed with Caleb and the team as a whole. I think you went into the final quarter, it was what, 9-6 or something like that.
No, I don't think. No, it was when the fourth quarter started. It was the Bears didn't have 6 yet. I don't believe they still had 3 points, and I believe it was. It probably was 9-3 at that point because I think they did score it there. I think that one touchdown Malik Willis did throw was in the fourth quarter. Would have got to 16-6 at one point, but yeah, the Bears won that game in dramatic fashion as they've been doing all of 2025, and we got a little bit of help from our brothers too.
Going into the fourth.
13-3. Okay, Foster, you was right. And Foster's team, we were looking at that game on Sunday night football, right? No, that wasn't a Sunday night football game. That was Foster's game.
You talking about my game? It was
that game.
4 o'clock start game. Yeah.
We was watching. A lot of Bears fans were still coming off that high. And we was watching the Detroit Lions game. Bated breath, like, hey, if the Pittsburgh Steelers do a thing here, the Bears are going to the playoffs. I just want to let you know here, Foster. I was with you. You said you wasn't really riding.
I gotta keep it real, man. I gotta keep it.
I was riding with the Lions. I wanted the Lions to win. For one, and the Bears control their own destiny. For two, I'm never, ever, shout out to Afton. I am never pulling for an Aaron Rodgers win. Never. It could be Aaron Rodgers with his grandson at T-ball. I want to lose.
Wow. Jeez. His grandson, you said?
Yeah.
His grandson.
That's deep.
Yeah. That's how deep it goes.
Between Chicago fans and Aaron Rodgers.
Just slightly. Just slightly. But Foster, why could you all not get that win? Tell us about that game.
Man, so the game started out real slow. It was a pitcher's duel, if you will. It was 3-3 for a lot of the time. We go up 10-3 on a touchdown by Isaac Tesla, and we're looking to enter the half with some momentum. The Steelers get the ball in the second half, and it was a long pass to Kenneth Gainwell, who's a dual threat running back. He kind of plays receiver, plays a little running back. But yeah, he was running down the sideline, and Alex Anzalone interferes with him, and somehow he makes the catch, gets up, runs into the end zone, and it's now 10-10 going into the half. And you just get a feeling that was like, I would have loved to go into the game, go into the half, with the lead, having held the Steelers to only 3 points, not bad. The defense is struggling, so we need that. But the second half was awful for the majority of it. The Steelers go right down, and we cause a turnover. I think it was a fumble. It was I think it was recovered by Jack Campbell. But so okay, cool. We're doing well, but it's way down in our red zone. So it results in a safety. Jared Goff gets sacked into the end zone. And then we did not touch the ball for the rest of the third quarter. The most disappointing thing of all about the defense down the stretch has not been our secondary. We knew that we were very ill-equipped in the secondary. No Branch, no Joseph, no Terrion Arnold. But we gave up 200 plus yards rushing. We gave up 150 yards rushing last week. And our front seven is completely healthy. Everybody from defensive line, linebackers, everybody's been healthy. And the Rams and the Steelers, two teams that are not, Kyron Williams is a pretty good running back. But these are not two terribly prolific running teams. And they've had their way with this. The Steelers had 9, the minute differential as far as time of possession was 9 minutes in this game. And like I said, outside of the safety that we got in the third quarter, we did not touch the ball at all in the third. And, we were, up against, we were in a position where we had to pass the ball, which is not ideal for Jared Goff. Jared Goff had a pretty decent game. No running game though on the offensive side of things. We totaled 15 yards. Yes, 15 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. We had 15 yards rushing in the entire game, which obviously plays a lot into how you have such a disparity in the time differential. And but all things considered, now we're down 2 scores and we look dead in the water. And I'm looking like, hey, I don't know, we might have a chance. And this is very reminiscent of a lot of Lions games where we fall behind and then we give it our best run. Normally, this is Matthew Stafford bringing us back. And we had 2 very controversial plays in the end. One was allegedly a pick play by Isaac Tesla. In my opinion, they kind of anticipated it being a pick play because St. Brown ended up being so wide open. And then we got one more opportunity at it. Now, this one, me personally, and between our cast, between me and June, we split on this. He said, I don't know if that was offensive pass interference, but Amon-Ra St. Brown did, Ramsey is kind of sitting in his zone and he's standing stationary. So St. Brown initiates, the contact, pushes off, makes the catch. Now he's still short. He ends up, catching the ball around the 1.5 yard line. And we look dead in the water. He pitches it back to Jared Goff of all people. I don't know if that was, I think he was just trying to continue the play. I don't think this was designed in any way, but he runs up. St. Brown tosses it back and it's not whistled dead. He catches the ball, gets tackled into the end zone, and we might have something here. They have a long, drawn out talk about, what they're going to do there. And then the referee kind of, fumbles the explanation because he says, what does he say first? He says, it is a touchdown. And then he says, offensive pass interference. And then he doesn't really explain that, or maybe he does. Maybe I'm just fogged up in the moment, but he says that due to that play, the game is over. So the crowd's going crazy. They're under the impression that the touchdown ends the game, but really it's the offensive pass interference nullifying it because there's no time left, and that's the game. And that's how the game ends. I hated the pick play, offensive pass interference. It took me a while to see the St. Brown one because they didn't review it on the screen. They kept it on the referees. So it took me a while to even know what happened there. But to me, it was pretty blatant. If that had happened if the Lions had went out like that, where DK Metcalf pushed off of somebody, and I would have been like, whoa, that's a blatant one. But some people say that was kind of weak. They've seen worse. So it is what it is. So that was the game. We're now, the game ended at 29-24. We're now 8-7 with a slim chance to get into the playoffs, but there is a chance.
Dave, OPI or no?
That play was flat out OPI. The one before with Tesla was not.
I felt like Tesla, that pass that he could have caught in the end zone to I guess win the game. I feel like they might have been a little bit of pass interference on that.
On that one, I don't even know. You might be right.
That was too close. But with the one at the end, he shoved him.
That was pretty blatant to me, but some people say
all I had to see was all I had to see is the arm extension.
Pushed him a couple yards back.
And it wasn't mutual. To me, it wasn't mutual, combat. Ramsey was standing flat-footed.
Mm-hmm.
in a spot, and Brown created some, he created, and it sounds like I'm just totally whatever, but yeah, he created space so that when the pass got to him, he had some separation. And I just feel like you can't really do that.
Part of the whole problem of the issue, one, it took him over 3 minutes to review the film, which 3 full minutes is a boatload of time.
Yeah.
2 minutes is. 3 minutes is ridiculous. One, he stopped his forward progress because when he lateraled the ball, he was like 6 yards back.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Which would have been the end of the game.
Now, can you judge forward progress after? I know you can in the moment and whistle it dead, but they kept it live.
They kept it live. They didn't blow the whistle. That's why they did it.
So can you go back and say, "Oh, stop his forward progress. It's over." You can't. Doesn't work.
Which there may have been a second left on the clock. I don't know, but who knows? But they let it roll. You had the lateral.
So you're saying that it could have stopped. There could have been another play, is what you're saying?
If there was time left on the clock, yes.
When the forward progress stopped.
Right.
Okay. I haven't heard that angle.
Now, I don't know if there was exactly at the time. I don't remember, but I know that was one of the talking points on our end. My fans, they talked about, well, what if they stopped in forward progress? Then Detroit might have had a chance.
We were so locked in on the touchdown.
Right. And then everybody thought, well, there's a penalty, we'll get another play. No, that's not what happened. You get offensive pass interference, it's done. It's 10 seconds off the clock, no matter what. You can't end the game on an offensive penalty. So it's right. Or you can end the game on an offensive penalty. So the game was done. Now, how the referee came out and said it's a touchdown, but no, that was jacked up. He should have said there was offensive pass interference
out the gate
by rule. End of the game.
Oh, he didn't have to say anything else.
That's all he had to say.
Right. Yeah. He threw us off. He
didn't have to go, there was a touchdown.
Yeah, he played us. That was theatrical. That was very theatrical.
Nah, it was jacked up. It was jacked up. Now, also coming from that game, you had a fan talking smack to DK Metcalf. Yeah. You see the clip for that?
Do you all?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Have you all heard the latest on that from the DK Metcalf fallout about his contract ramifications and that the fact that the NFL upheld the initial punishment?
He said he lost. He said he could possibly
over $500,000 in the last 2 games.
Yeah, that's his game checks. So it's $550,000 that he forfeits immediately from being punished, from being suspended. Those are his game checks. But according to his clauses in his contract, that any suspensions will carry a nullification of his bonuses, of his guarantees, and that's upwards of $40 million.
I was gonna say, I heard it was way bigger than the $500,000. Yeah.
I think that's heard that. You all think that's fair though?
Wait, what? Something that
you all think that's fair? Yeah, you think it's fair that you well, obviously, yeah, you signed it, so
yeah, you signed an agreement. Yeah, it's fair. Yeah,
but I'm also hearing there's some Steelers fans sort of upset that I forgot what I was going to talk about. That the fan was not punished.
You want him suspended from his job too? Well, I mean, what do you?
Or kicked out because there's at least implied a code of conduct for fans, and he violated that supposedly.
What did he? I see.
I had no idea what he violated. All I saw him was yell at at DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf came over and grabbed his hair and then punched him.
He roped him over with the Steelers jersey or the DK jersey. And from what I'm hearing, my thing is this: in the middle of the game, focus on the game. What are you doing? But yeah, they said that he said his government name and he didn't like it.
Well, I mean,
I know
that
it gets
can't
crazy
piss it-
down at the bottom. Like down there, they do talk, and a lot of those players entertain it. And it's like, especially when they're winning, it's like, they can kind of, give it back to them. But
Hey, yo.
I know. But as far as, I mean, you have a job. As far as the guy being reprimanded, I mean, that's neither. I don't know.
No,
I don't really care about
exactly
he works
right,
at he works at Walmart somewhere. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
no, he doesn't. Not with those seats. He did not.
and I'm talking. Yeah, and they said that he's had issues in the past when he went to see. So I don't know if that was a Lions game where he went and had issues with DK in Seattle, but they did say that there's a history there too.
Oh, interesting. A little added twist.
I think I heard something like that, but I don't know.
My opinion as to why there probably hasn't been an I guess equal adjudication to this. That fan could have been seriously hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Bad, real bad.
And now I'm not saying I'm not excusing or eliminating the possibility that DK could have been hurt in this situation as well. But if you look at the steal and where he's got him by his collar, he can pull him over that railing. You're talking about a financial penalty for the league that they would probably never want to see. You know what I mean? Even though the NFL prints billions of dollars, that type of incident, it'll be the end of DK's career, and it'll be a steep cut to a lot of people's paycheck. A lot of people who don't want to have their Christmas funds lessened. They got to give back a yacht, if you hear what I'm saying. And don't want that.
I know when he grabbed a hold of him, I know he was you're hanging over that thing with that strong man, like, oh my God. That had to have been scary as hell.
But yeah, but again, the onus, I think we all agree with this before we switch on over to the Vikings game of the week 16. I think we all can agree that professional athletes, we got to remember the part that becomes first in that, and that's the part of being professional. If things like that are going to happen, you've been dealing with that the whole time you've been an athlete. We got to be laser focused. You got to have that tunnel vision. Yeah,
You're the best.
Get back in that tunnel vision.
The best of the best in high school, junior high, college, and now you're a pro. You've dealt with people that have been yakking at you.
Right.
On the field.
On the field.
As the kids are saying nowadays, lock in.
Lock in.
Dave, you guys are now 7-8 on the season. As a season that you at one point said this is a disaster season. Now you're one game under 500. Dave, how did you get there?
Oh, it is still a disaster season. We got there because we defeated the New York Giants. And the New York Giants, they basically have checked out, unfortunately. It was a low-scoring affair the whole game. There wasn't much going on. J.J. McCarthy was making some good decisions, was what we wanted to see. But after he rushed for the touchdown, which was a great save because wide receivers weren't open, he saw a lane, ran in, touchdown. There's debate whether it happened on running in for the touchdown or 2 plays actually before it. He was taken out. He hurt his hand, his throwing hand. Now, the 2 plays before the failed he was dirting the ball on a blown up screen, and he got blown up in the process, and it was a strip sack fumble for 6. He had his hand hit by a helmet of the Giants, and you could see it. The Giants defender comes in. He was focusing on the receiver, throws the ball. Guy comes in, bam. And then 2 plays later, he has the screen pass where he goes to dirt it, and he drops it. He just couldn't grip the football. Well, he comes out. They do a little test on the sideline where they grab his hand, and he winces in pain. Great. J.J. McCarthy, the future of the Minnesota Vikings, has his 4th serious injury of his career in just 2 seasons. He's played a whopping 9 games out of 2 full seasons minus 2 games. It's like, oh, great. And then, so they do the x-rays at the stadium. Nothing shows. And they say, well, it could be just like a bone bruise or something like that. And I'm sitting there going, no, not if if the med guys apply pressure to your hand and you flinch like that. No way. I had early fed information that most likely it's a spiral fracture or a microfracture. Well, they did some further testing on Monday, find out it's a microfracture. He's done for this week. They say he still may play in the final week against the Packers, but he's done for this week. So Max Brosmer came in, and Max did real well, and we won the game, which was great. Max Brosmer is now going to start this week, as in tomorrow, on Christmas against the Detroit Lions. But the biggest controversy is J.J. McCarthy injury prone? He's had 4 documented serious injuries in less than 2 years. 5th, if you want to call a bruise on that right throwing hand after we played the Ravens. But hey, our center, Ryan Kelly, went out again with his 3rd documented concussion of the season, and his 6th or 7th of his career. It's questionable whether he even comes back, which is a shame because he's so good. But I told my fans he selected the wrong helmet when he upgraded his helmet. He went with the Rydell and the bump cap, or the Guardian cap. And the Guardian cap is not approved by the NFL Players Association, I found out today, which is interesting because it causes more friction. And they think that causes problems. Helmets are designed to be slick and deflect blows to the head. If you have friction, it generally causes more neck injuries, but it stops when you collide versus sliding off and distributing the hit. Think of how they design cars now for safety. Well,
Right.
He's going to be out. He's in the protocol. I severely doubt he'll be ready for tomorrow. And I think they've already called him out. And then in the last week, I doubt it. And then we've got him under contract 1 more year, but he may just retire. 7 documented concussions, not to mention all the undocumented ones. It's bad. What?
Getting dangerous to that territory that we don't want to think about.
Right.
That Antonio Brown type of territory.
You're really messing with CTE in the future. So, but we've won 3 in a row. if we win our last 2, that'll be 5 in a row. Kevin O'Connell has had a 5-game win streak in each of his previous 3 seasons. Question is, will he have one in this season? There's a possibility. All we got to do is beat the Lions this week, tomorrow, and then the Packers in week 18. And there'll be motivation to do that.
Of course. Well, it's the Packers. That's the motivation. Beat them.
Yeah. You got that right.
I would so love to have that happen. I think your season's been a roller coaster. You had the vibes coming in. There's been a lot of bad losses. There's been a lot of injuries, but in particular to your franchise quarterback. I think a quick question.
Line has been we're again with a different combination this week.
I think. Well, question I have before we jump to week 17. What could make this season? What could give you a better outlook on the season? You called it a disaster. You got 2 games left. If you win those 2 games, you have a 5-game winning streak. What do you need to see out of those last 2 weeks that could possibly trend this season in the right direction?
That's a great question. We've got a lot of holes on our roster. We wanted to see J.J. McCarthy make progress in the final 3 games. Well, this last weekend, he took himself out. That's not progress. He was on his decision-making, but that was it. Now to what can make it better? Hey, maybe Max Brosmer stepping up and proving that he may be competitive in the start and not just a QB3 next year. That it isn't just our defense. Our defense is outstanding. That's winning us games. That the offense can. Aaron Jones had a great game, and he stuck it out through a twisted ankle. It was that the team seems to get it together, at least push for wins these last 2 weeks. That's what I'm hoping for.
Let's take us a quick break, and then when we come back on the other side of that break, we're going to preview week 17. You're watching live. Don't do anything different than what you're doing now. In fact, do something different. Shoot that share link to a friend. Tell them to come watch live with you. If you're watching on audio, you already know what to do. Do not press fast forward. Check out our ad partners. They got something they want to holler at you about. It's going to be very interesting. It's something good. You definitely want to hear it. We'll be right back.
Need a Garrett's popcorn break.
Dave, last thing for week 16, we got one of those live viewers, Tim Lyons. He wants to know, offseason, Vikings, draft or sign a quarterback?
We're not going to draft one. Whether we trade for one, that may be a different story. And Tim, yes, if your quarterback demands traded out of Cincinnati, I guarantee Minnesota's going to be on the top of his list.
No. Keep him in. He's in the right north he needs to be in. He doesn't need to be in this north. No.
And I've got fans that say, why would you trade one injured quarterback for another? Well, the fact that Joe Burrow's got to the Super Bowl and can prove can get to the Super Bowl. He's one of the top, easily 4, if not higher, best quarterbacks in the league. I guarantee the Wolves would probably trade the farm or close to it or approve it to get Joe Burrow to Minnesota. And so be it for J.J. McCarthy.
I think Justin Jefferson will sign off on that too.
Oh, yeah. He'd be all in for it.
I think I speak for Foster and everyone else here, Dave, when we say get better, get well soon, 9.
Well, I can't see Cincinnati trading Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow would have to literally threaten to quit.
Oh, the old
I retire.
Carson Palmer move.
Mhm.
They've seen that one before. I don't think they
Yes,
fall for it. I don't think they fall for it again.
and I feel sorry for the fans in Cincinnati. They deserve so much better than that cheap ass ownership. But
Do they though? Do they though? Foster, you guys kick off week 17. Playing our good buddy here, Dave. Vikings versus Lions. That is a Christmas game, if I'm not mistaken, right?
hold on, I want to answer Tim real quick. Tim goes, Joe has a no trade clause. Yes. And what a no trade clause means is he can't be traded without his permission.
He will, some people
If he
think
says,
he's
I want to go to Minnesota,
silently giving that permission.
it can happen.
Mm-hmm. I think the Lions versus the Vikings is the only game worth watching on Christmas from an NFL perspective. I thought NFL was taking over Christmas, fellas, and I reactivated my Netflix just for this. I did not watch the Jake Paul fight. You can't prove that I watched it. And now
I forgot about
those guys. Well, I mean, you wanted to see somebody on their knees. Well,
That's literally what happened.
Not my idea of wanting to see somebody on their knees.
Yeah.
If that's your proclivity, hey, I do not judge. But for these games, this is probably the only game that is probably has some type of interest from a broad perspective. But if you're selling this game, tell us why we need to watch this game, guys.
Well, it's the only game that has an actual QB1 that's playing, I think, like a real one. But it's a divisional game. It's an opportunity for the Lions to get some redemption. We do have a glimmer of hope to get into the playoffs. So we have a glimmer of hope to get in the playoffs. So, although the fan base is pretty much, checked it in, the Lions do have something to play for. As far as what I'm looking forward to, I mean, I would love to think that we would be able to outduel Max Brosmer, but if we continue to not be able to stop the run and the offensive line continues to have issues creating some running lanes for David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs, whoever, then we're still in trouble. I don't rule out anything happening. But the one thing I didn't talk about in the last week stuff is the mini controversy as far as David Montgomery is concerned. He had a cryptic post with his jersey, and somebody, commented under the post, basically, saying, hey, I feel for you. And, you need to go to a team that, is going to, give you the usage that you deserve. And his usage has been down. And, I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. I mean, neither Gibbs or Montgomery has been good. So I feel like it's not more of what the running backs can do as it is for the offensive line creating lanes for him. But he did like that post, which we all know how that goes when they actually, support, and me personally, when it was all roses and bubbles and it was Sonic and Knuckles, and we all knew that Gibbs, he's younger, he's more explosive, and and although they played it very good as far as like, hey, we're best friends and I'm rooting for him and we're both going, in the back of my head, I'm thinking that, Montgomery only has so many years left of his, of that, RB1 potential. And, it's eventually it's going to be time to pay Gibbs and figure out, hey, Monty, what you got going on? Because, and we can't forget about the fact that Monty missed some games at the end of last year and kind of put it all on the line to come back to play in the playoffs. A lot of people thought that he would be out for the season. So, eventually comes a time where you feel that you are not getting the support or the recognition or the whatever that you deserve. So something tells me they're going to make a conscious effort to get Montgomery going. I think the last shining moments he had was actually in the Thanksgiving game, where he was the one that kind of, made us push forward and got us going in the right direction versus the Packers. So we see how that ended up, but yeah. So there's some interesting things going on, and we're not quite dead in the water, but I'm not holding my breath about it. That was long-winded.
Dave, you guys are a 7.5-point dog in this game.
Yeah, I'm seeing 6, but okay. We'll take it.
According to CBS right
I'm
now,
seeing it
7.5.
7.5. I've gotten.
What do you need to see out of the Vikings in this game?
Yeah, that we play like we did when we played them the first time. As Foster knows, we defeated the Lions in Detroit the first time. Now, talking about those running backs, we held them to, 60 some odd yards all the game? And
yeah,
we'll have to do that again. The problem with the Lions coming in is they're facing a top 5 defense, without a doubt. The Brian Flores defense has not allowed a offensive touchdown in 6 games, 5 games, 6 games in a row. That's a lot. Last week, the Giants scored on a fumble recovery, run back, strip sack for 6 points. Our defense is good. The offense is where we have question marks, but our defense is good. So we went into the last game against the Lions hoping to shut down Gibbs and Montgomery because that was their biggest threat. We knew how they were dominating in the run game. We shut them down. Their offensive line has gotten more banged up since then. And it's a hodgepodge. I complain about how ours is on like the 15th different iteration on the season. Theirs is close to it as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, are we going to pressure Goff? Goff doesn't throw well under pressure. That's already documented. What does Brian Flores do? He brings all sorts of blitzes and pressures. Going to be interesting. So it's going to be our defense against their offense. I do believe our defense will prevail. Now the question is, can they score enough from that offense, from Gibbs, from Montgomery, from Goff to St. Brown? And I saw your injury list today there, Foster, and it's a mile long. Literally, there's like 14 or 15 players on it.
That's question. A lot of them are questionable, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's 2 out, and all the rest are questionable.
Yeah.
Including St. Brown. Now, I fully expect him to play.
Yes.
But we will see. It's going to be interesting, offense versus defense. Their offense, our defense. How it's going to play out. If our defense holds them to, field goals or no points scored, I do believe Max Brosmer, who's going to start for the Minnesota Vikings, in only his second full start, and his first one was a disaster. If he can complete balls to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, speaking of Addison, I don't know if you guys saw his drop touchdown. Beautiful pass by JJ last week. Caught it, both hands, into his chest as he rolls into the end zone and out. just stupid. But if Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, Jalen Naylor hold on to footballs because Max Brosmer throws a good football, I think we're going to win this game. But it's going to be close. It's a tough opponent. It's inner division. Every time we play some team in the division, it's a tough game. And goes for all of you.
Give me a score, Dave.
Right now, believe it or not, the Lions are favored. They're favored to win 27-17 is what computer's telling me. That means we score 17 points. I don't think they score 27. I'd say 17. More like 17-12. Lions.
The number that jumped out to me first when you said that was a 17 from Max Brosmer. Okay, the Lions defense is kind of banged up. I get it. Give me a score there, Foster.
I don't know. You said the computers told him, so I don't know what to say now. But
computer says Lions win 27-17.
I expect a lower scoring game than higher scoring game.
I agree. The over-under is between 42 and 44 points.
So, yeah, I'm thinking like, I don't know. But I'm not so sold on our defense either. So, I don't know. I say.
Let's talk about your defense. You've got Hutch and you've got your middle linebacker. Campbell. Even the Ancelonis, those are the only two that I feel threatened over as good as playing outstanding football. Anceloni's played meh this year.
Yeah.
Everybody else has been hurt. Even with what's his face at the other edge.
Muhammad.
Not Muhammad. Muhammad's even dropped off. But Davenpoop.
Yeah, Davenport.
Davenpoop was healthy, and he hasn't done squat.
Nope.
Your secondary is just absolutely beat up.
And then Avonte Maddox is out too, and he's a backup already.
It's just you guys are hurting.
The front seven isn't hurting though. That's the killer.
You got Davenport.
There is nobody. Well, yeah, but even if Davenport was hurt, you say, hey, no, we still got Muhammad. We still got
right, but Muhammad's dropped off.
Yeah, yes. Which is why he is who he is.
Plus, Muhammad. Every time we turn around, we're looking at a Detroit highlight, and Muhammad's making a sack.
Yeah,
and now he's.
He's got 9 sacks for the year. And maybe this is the game that because it's been spurts for him.
It's possible. We've got Christian Darisaw's out for the rest of the season, so you'll have School at left tackle. We have Ryan Kelly out at center, so you're getting Michael Juergens as starting center because they don't want to put Blake Brandel in because Blake Brandel may have to play right tackle for Brian O'Neill, which will fill out Blake Brandel's bingo card. He will play at all 5 positions this season on the offensive line. And I don't know. Your defense is hurt beyond hurt. Can we outlast them? This is the question. Can Max Brosmer make the throws?
I'll never forget when Matt Flynn, playing in place of Aaron Rodgers, stepped in and tore us up. After that, anything is on the board.
And he got a contract out of that too.
Yeah. The Seahawks, and proceeded to never play good again.
Yes.
Got paid off that one though. And we were in the playoffs that year, but I think we squandered something, that home field advantage in the first round or something like that. I'll never forget that.
But it's going to be fun. Now, tomorrow's Christmas. So I want everybody that's watching to enjoy their Christmas. If you watch the football game, watch us. What's going to be unique about it is it's our winter whiteout game. We debuted those uniforms last season. It's our solid white uniforms, the light purple with the icicles on the numbers, little sparklies, all that sort of, it's pretty, it's cool, it's good. And versus the Detroit Lions black and blue uniforms, the solid blacks. So it's going to stand out. Should be a good game to watch. And if you want to watch, by all means, join us.
We're up against the clock. So, fellas, give me a score for the Ravens-Packers game.
Depends if the quarterbacks play.
I need Jackson to play. This is so
Yeah, we want Jackson to play. Love can sit it out because he's injured too. Bonk on the head.
The line on that game right now is the Packers are favored by 3. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Ravens, they're both of these things playing for the season. I'm going to give it to the Ravens. Surprise, surprise.
With the purple, yes, smart choice.
Surprise, surprise. 2017. I don't care who the quarterbacks are.
Cool.
As far as the Bears.
Then we get to the Bears
on
Sunday night.
Sunday Night Football, the Bears play the Niners. It is a rubber match. I believe both these teams have played each of the last 2 seasons. The Niners destroyed and embarrassed the Bears last year in a cacophony of embarrassments the Bears had last year. It's a new day coming. The Niners are one of the quietest playoff seasons you've ever seen in recent history. They just keep churning out wins. And they're not getting really any type of fanfare. That's complete opposite of what the Bears doing. The Bears turning out wins, and they're doing it in like his Disney movie type fashion.
The Niners are 10-5, and the first half of the season, we thought they were lost because they were so devastated with injuries.
Right. Again, like the Lions are always carrying injuries. The Niners are always carrying injuries too. No Nick Bosa. They've got some other injuries along that defensive line. This is one of the reasons why they're one of the worst pass rushing teams in the NFL. Can the Bears take advantage of that? We hope so. We hope to see a clean pocket for Caleb Williams as they try to get that lick back against the Niners last season. The Lions, as you know, with the Niners, their offensive attack centers around one man and one man only. CMC, Christian McCaffrey. He's already got 1,000 yards. I think he got that his last game when they demolished the Colts. Again, a bit of an ageist. They made Rivers stop playing Rivers. But I think he got his 1,000 yards rushing in that game, and he needs 150 receiving yards to be, I think, the first player ever to be back-to-back 1,000 seasons. The Bears have been pretty good against opposing running backs, and I don't mean good is in a Bears way. I mean good to opposing running backs a lot this season. I think that the Bears are, one, trending in a good direction, obviously. 2, the vibes are up for the team, and 3, Ben Johnson has this team laser focused on the objective at hand. I can't speak too much about the Niners. I know where they're weak at. They can't really get to the passer. They are a Brock Purdy game, and that can mean a lot of different things. They're a Brock Purdy game away from winning. They're a Brock Purdy game away from losing. Is that type of a coin flip with him. So if the Bears can contain CMC, which is easier said than done for their maybe future Hall of Famer, maybe. If they can do that, I think the Bears have a great shot. Kittle is also an injury report. He may or may not play. Kittle, if you all remember last year, Shout out to my boy Squeegee in the comments. He had himself a game against the Bears, demolishing. He says he grew up a Bears fan. I can't tell because he be putting his cleats straight up the Bears. But I think everything that's circling these two teams going into this game, I would assume the Bears had an upper hand in this game. I like the Bears to win. Again, no surprise in that. The 49ers are a 3-point favorite at home. I want the Bears to win, not just because I want them to go ahead and continue to march toward that overall number 1 seed in this division, well, in the playoffs, but because we expect to have we expect the Bears to be back there in Santa Clara sometime in February. So I want them to get comfortable this Sunday.
Okay,
but
now just want to make you aware. One of the things I look at is who's the officiating crew for each game. You have Alex Moore as the referee. Alex Moore is the crew we had last week.
Mm-hmm.
He ranks first amongst all the 17 crews in calling the most penalties. We had 22 called in the Vikings-Giants game.
Total,
11 and 11. He tends to favor the home team. Less call for the home team, more for the away team. But expect 20-ish. He averages 19.7 or something that penalty flags per game. So expect the game to be slowed down. So everybody that's watching Sunday night will get the full view, the extra benefit of a crew that calls absolutely everything.
For those that are watching Christmas football, Dave does a 2-minute warning on his channel, Vikings versus School. Dave, tell everybody where they can find that at.
You can find us live at Vikings First and Skull. We go live at the 2-minute warning of each game, so you can join me and watch the final 2 minutes together, and we can react together, win, lose, or draw. And generally, we have tons of stuff to react about and start complaining or yaying or whatever it is. So join us tomorrow night, if you so desire, at the 2-minute warning, and we'll be there to discuss, did the Vikings make your Christmas or ruin it? Who plays Grinch, Minnesota or Detroit?
Foster, what's happening on Bleachers and Speakers?
Yeah, we'll have a post-game show probably immediately after the game to react to one way or another, our demise or our inevitable ending to the season. We're not used to this. I mean, we are, but we're not, if that makes sense.
Well, no, it's the NFL is a tricky business. You can only be up for so long, no Diddy, and you can only your lows are not as bad as any of the highs. But as far as the Bears concerned, you all are. If you're watching on Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel, where we are going to be around for that game. The preview will be out Friday. The review will be out Monday at some point too. Go Bears, bear down. Dave, what they say?
They say FTP.
What do they say in Detroit?
We say Skull Vikings.
What do you all say in Detroit there, Foster? Happy holidays, everybody.
The Bears. The Bears.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say 3 things. Bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.